Okay, now that we have created some links, let's style them. We're going to take this navigation menu here on the left and we're going to have it go horizontal across the top. It will be beautiful. And then we'll take out these underlines and change the colors. And so here we go. I'm going to jump back into our code here and I'm going to go up into our styles. And then where it has dot navigation, I'm going to first add a P because we're going to be targeting the paragraph specifically with our styles here. In order for this next step to work, we're going to go ahead and add display, colon, and then inline block. This will allow the paragraphs to be next to each other instead of underneath each other. Therefore, inline block. So display, colon, inline dash block. And then in order for us to see the differences between the links, I'm just going to put a small gap in between them, a margin, 0.03. There we go. Because I really want it just to be a small little sliver between so that the buttons are obvious. And then for the horizontal to work, we need to delete the float. And then the width, it's no longer going to be just 15% on the left. Since we have 3 links, I'm going to do 31%. That will spread them out across the top evenly. And then I'll show you what that looks like so far. There's things I need to do to the article, but let's run this so far and see what it looks like. So as you can see, pretty neat. The inline block allows them to be next to each other here along the top. By throwing in that little margin, we do see the gaps in between. And so now all we need to do is fix this article section here because we no longer want it to be floated to the right. We're going to just have it take up the whole bottom. So we're going to go up to our article, and the width we're just going to say 100%, and we're going to remove the float. So take that out, save it. I'm going to go in and refresh. And see already it's looking great. And now the buttons, the one last thing I want to do before we start doing some other fun styles is I want the background color to be a blue instead, because we're going to change the colors of these links here. Let's take a look. Okay, so I know right now you're like, well, but I can't see the text, so let's style those links. So we're going to go underneath our navigation here, and we're going to add another one to target just the styles of the links. It's going to be dot navigation, so still the same class, but instead of targeting the paragraph, we're going to target the link. So that's the A. Now, links have 5 different pseudo classes, classes we can style. That's focus, link, visited, active, and hover. So we're going to play with those. The first one we're going to do is link. Now to do a pseudo class, you have the colon between the element and the pseudo class itself. And I'm going to want the visited to look the same because regardless on whether they've clicked on that before, I just want the menu to look like the menu. So I'm going to also do dot navigation A and then visited. And there we go. So we're going to apply styles to the links, whether they're visited or not, is what that's saying. And we're going to do color. I'm going to make them white. And then let's go ahead and do, let's get rid of that underline there. That's text decoration. And then let's put none. Let's save that and see what difference that makes so far. Oh, much better already, right? So now they're white and there's no underline showing up underneath them. Now, of course, the font does look a little funky because everything else has a different font. Let's go ahead and assign it that special web font that we had, that font family. So I'm going to grab that from the footer here. I'm going to replace that up here, paste it, and then take a look. Pretty neat. Okay, so now that we've done 2 of our pseudo classes, let's give the others a try. You ain't seen nothing yet. So let's go down here, and underneath this group, let's add another one, dot navigation a hover. And I'm going to go ahead and apply the same styles to dot navigation a colon active. And let's not forget our final pseudo class, since there are the 5. We can go ahead and apply focus too, although albeit we don't see that as often. Hover means that when our mouse is hovering over it, it's going to do something. Active means when it's being clicked. And then focus means that your keyboard happens to be, like if you're hitting tab, you're on that link. So with a lot of the touchscreen navigation nowadays, whether they're on their phones or on a touchscreen computer, the focus and the active would not necessarily be rendered because they're touching with their finger. And for this one, we're just going to go ahead and change the color just a little bit. Now for a color, I want to use a light gray, and so I'm going to show you guys. I know I just keep pulling numbers out and you're like, well, how did she figure that out? So remember, you can just look up hex code color picker, and you can just pick on any one and find a color that you like. So if I want to do a light gray, I can click on the gray there, and then it gives me all these different shades. And then I'm just going to grab this one, just barely a different color when they're hovering over the link. And then we'll just grab that one, and then for color, I'm just going to paste it there. That easy, folks. All these colors at your fingertips. And then I'm also going to have a shadow show up, ever slightly shadow show up as they're hovering over it or clicking on it as well. And to do that, we actually play with positioning, believe it or not. We're going to do position relative. And then we're going to, again, it's ever so slightly, we're just going to go from the top, we're going to have it go down 1 pixel, and then we're going to go have it go to the left 1 pixel. It will give the effect that it's being pressed down. So let's save these and give these a shot. I'm going to go in here and refresh. And of course you're not going to see anything right away because we haven't hovered over it, right? So let's hover over it and see what happens. The color change is very subtle, but it changes just ever so slightly. And then when they hover over it, it looks like a button's going down. So pretty neat, right? You can use that just for when it's being pressed, or you can use it when it's hovered. I tend to collapse those 3 together, hover, active, and focus. I try to keep things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate my code. Now if I was getting picky, I probably would change the salmon color here in the back. That's now looking pretty out of place. So to do that, that would be the background color. So we would need to go back and find where we had stuck that color, which I believe is in our container right here. We go in here, and let's say that behind the links, I want to go with the same color as the header. I'm thinking that would probably look nice. Let's copy this, and let's paste it in here. And then let's go back and then refresh. And there we go. Oh, that looks so nice. So it almost looks like tabs along the top, and then as you hover over it, it goes down. And we could have the buttons change color as we hover over it if we wanted to. You want to see how that works? Let's go down to our hover again, and then we can add underneath our color. I'm going to put background color. And then we can have it be, what? It's light blue? Let's just play with something. And go and refresh it. And then the only problem when we do that, of course, is it's going to just do the link itself, not the whole button. To fix that, we just go in here and add display block. And now when we go over it, then it changes the whole button blue because it's saying to apply it to the whole block. So being picky with my colors, I would probably change that color, but there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you later.